What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. And Maresca is potentially one of the main targets for Comolli to replace Tudor already at the end of the season. And no shock that, that Maresca potentially is on the list a little bit, which I'll talk about maybe in a sec. Zidane spoke as well, which we didn't talk. There's also an update on McKennie playing center back. But the Maresca thing is interesting because I've seen the news come out. It's from Matteo Moretto. I think everybody has seen it by now. And it's a bit of an outrage. Oh, it's not fair towards Tudor and etc. Is it? Is it really? When it's very clear that the management, it's Tudor is not the management's guy. And to be honest, I think a lot of you as well believe that Tudor is just not the guy to take this club to another dimension. However, what this means, changing another coach again means again throwaway seasons. That's what we're going to talk about. Maresca, Zidane, and McKennie playing center back. But before we do that, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive straight into it. Okay, so Matteo Moretto spoke on Fabrizio Romano's YouTube channel, and he said that Juve appreciates Maresca's quality as a coach. There are no negotiations or talks. We're talking about a future idea. Tudor, like everyone else, is tied to results and is being monitored daily. It remains to be seen whether something concrete could develop as early as next year. Now, if it's not Maresca, it's someone else. It was very clear. I think that everyone would agree that you have the feeling, because, well, actually the proof is out there, not just feeling, like actually evidence is out there in past summer, that Tudor is not the guy the management really likes. And you cannot really blame them because they didn't pick Tudor. They just came in and Tudor was there and it was too late to act, So I don't think it should be a surprise that Tudor potentially could be on his way out at the end of the season, midway through the season, whatever. That's a different discussion. And that it could be Maresca is also not a surprise, because if you have been following Comolli's links lately to coaches, managers, players, it feels a bit different than we usually do. The only thing that's similar is that he's an ex-Juve player, Enzo Maresca. I think everybody remembers that famous clip when he scored in the derby against Torino. I think it was a 2-2. It wasn't like wasn't 0-2 or something, or the season 0-1 or 2. I think it was an 0-2 that he scored 2-2 and did that bull celebration. So he is an ex-player of the club, obviously. Like, I don't want to go into details much. Do I like Maresca? Yes or not? I think he's a good coach. He has proven that he can win stuff. Yeah, he won the Conference League, won the Club World Cup. He got Leicester promoted. Not sure if I don't think he won the league with Leicester. I think Burnley did that season. I'm not sure anymore. But still, he has proven that he can win stuff. Some might question, why would he leave Chelsea? Because he's getting millions and millions and millions. Because I think Chelsea will move on from him, And is it fair? I don't know. I think Chelsea are in the same situation as us, only they spend more. But when you look at the money they spend, that backline might be worse than ours. Let's be real. They buy Garnacho. They pay real money for Garnacho. They pay 50 million for Gittins. Like, these type of players, these are the signings Chelsea are making. Bonanotte, like those type of players where you're just throwing away money just to throw away money. So is it fair that he's not winning the league with Chelsea? I don't think so. Yes, they spend a lot of money, but they spend it on a lot of crap. Like real crap. We need to be honest with that as well. So obviously he's not going to win the league because he does not have a better squad than Liverpool, City, or Arsenal. Actually, it's not even close, if you compare the squad. So I'm not going to, talk about that aspect of his job. But I think Chelsea, and the rumors are out there that they potentially could move on. Again, that's an idea. The point is that the club is very active because these leaks do not pop up out of nowhere. These leaks from good sources, they don't wake up in the morning like, you know what, we're going to talk about that. Things get leaked for a reason because there are actual things behind the scenes. What if we move on from Tudor, etc. And that's how it works. Zidane came out and said, well, I actually have no problem with coaching Juve, and I'm not sure why it didn't happen. But then he also said, my dream is to coach a national team, and I think that will happen rather later than sooner. Even though Tuto Suarez is saying that You know, Zidane at one point is going to be the Juve coach. I mean, maybe not. I'm not so sure. You know, what I'm sure about is that I don't think unless Tudor wins the league, he's not going to be the coach next season. You know, definitely not. What happens mid-season, I have no idea. With Bremer out until January at least, it can go south really, really quickly. Is that fair towards Tudor if it goes south? Not really. I like from the aspect of we don't have an identity. Yes. The fact that he's stubborn. Yes. The fact that our backline stinks or has little to no quality in there is not his fault because if you asked him, I don't think he was sitting there saying, "Yeah, I want to keep Gatti and Kostic and I want to play Rugani week in week out for the next 2 months." I don't think he wants that. So that's on the clubs, but the club doesn't care. The results are not going your way. You could be moved on. Excuse me. But if it happens mid-season, then it becomes sticky. It becomes nasty. It becomes a very bad situation for the club because then you're moving into a territory where you're signing coaches you actually don't really want long term as well. Talking about that, the problem reports out there that McKennie can be used center back. You know, and when you reach those levels of reporting or journalism, whatever, you know the situation is bad because McKennie can definitely not play center back. He's not quick enough. He's technically not good enough. And yeah, there are so many things that's wrong with McKennie playing center back. And that's not his fault, obviously, because he cannot play center back, you know. Tudor is going to need to find a solution with the players he has, you know. And I still believe he's going to need to change formation. And it's not because Bremer went down. I think even with Bremer, we needed to change something because it's not working and we're leaking goals. Now, without Bremer, we're going to leak more goals. It happened last season. Like, there will be a period where we will not concede goals. And there will be a period again where we start leaking goals for fun, conceding goals for fun. And you cannot fix that with, but Bremer's out, just plug in Rugani. That's insane to think that because the quality between Rugani and Bremer is laughable. That's one. And two, we were struggling even with Bremer in that setup, let alone with a Rugani just plug and play. It's not that simple. If it was that simple, sell Bremer and play Rugani and give him a long-term contract. You know, it's not that simple. So he's going to need to find a solution, but you cannot do random things. Play Locatelli, play McKennie. You have center backs. You're going to need to figure it out, and you're going to need to change the formation, I think, or something to make us harder to beat. You know, because right now, I think we're not losing, but we feel easy to beat. We do feel that we're getting away with it, but it feels like we're very easy beatable. And in the next 3 games, it can easily happen once, twice. It can happen. It's on the board if we're being realistic, you know. So up to Tudor to find a solution. But yeah, it's gonna be without Bremer, and it's going to be with Rugani, Gatti, and Kalulu. And yeah, you need to figure it out. We've seen it last season. It's not good. But if you want to stay in a job, you're going to need to figure it out because Bremer is not coming back anytime soon. But yeah, in the comments, let me know what you think about Maresca as a future option. Do you think he is a realistic option? Do you think Zidane potentially could be a realistic option? And what if we need to change coach mid-season? You know, what does that mean for the long-term future of just the coaching job in general?